What you doing?
Oh, is this the intro? Welcome to the Saw video. She's doing it. I don't know what it is, so I can't really give an appropriate intro. That was my best I can do. You'll see me in the background. Try not to look at my butt too much. Bye.
Okay. Yeah. Saw Trap, Survivability. That's it. This tier list I already found, and I like it pretty okay, so I'm gonna just roll with this one. I was filming another one that was much longer, and I didn't like the tiers, so I edited them and made them my own, and I liked the way that I had made my own tier list, but it's gonna also be way too long. Anyways, we'll just start. I don't know what this one is called. I can't read that. It's the something wheel. I know that she's in a wheel and she's slowly moving towards just like metal rods that go into her eyes and mouth that kill her. I'm gonna put this one in a what, and I'm gonna put all of the ones that are like this in a what, because they are not in your capability of saving yourself. Like, it's someone else responsible for your life, so I'm just gonna put that as what. Like, I mean, if how am I gonna say that, yeah, I'm gonna die, or no, I'm gonna live, if it's not even me who's in charge of making that executive decision? So I'm just gonna put that shit in what, because I don't really care for those traps. The wisdom teeth combination trap, he's just gotta pull his wisdom teeth out, which seems easy, but I don't think that it would kill you, obviously. So I'm gonna put that in yes. Yeah, I could do that. It would just hurt a lot. 10 pints of sacrifice. Plan my funeral. I don't want to say it's murder, because they did have a way of getting everyone into the room and getting the 10 pints of blood into the machine. They just didn't think correctly, so it's just two people, they're dead. It doesn't matter. Amanda's test. I'm gonna put this in what? I don't know why she failed. I mean, I don't know. Hoffman is tricking her, saying that if she doesn't kill Lynn, he's going to tell John Kramer Jigsaw that she was there the night that her boyfriend, I cannot remember what his name was, but they were both drug addicts. They were there the night. They were the ones who were behind robbing the drug rehab center, whatever you want to call it, and killing Jill Tuck and John Kramer's unborn child. She miscarried the baby because they slammed the door on her stomach, so Jigsaw never knew that she was there, so Hoffman is telling her that she needs to kill Lynn, or he's going to tell Jigsaw a dirty little secret. I think that maybe we could handle this a little differently. The only reason he did that was to basically rig her game, and her game was a game of jealousy that Jigsaw was playing with her, seeing that if she could go on and not kill Lynn out of jealousy for John Kramer. So it's just a rigged game, kind of, but she could have made the decision to not kill her and maybe just call bullshit on Hoffman. You know, his word against mine. How would he even know that? I don't know. I just put it in what, because I just don't understand. I mean, I guess if you really love someone as much as she did in that way, like a father figure, like a mentor figure, you don't want to do anything to upset them, but to go as far as murdering someone, which murder is not out of the question for Hoffman or Amanda, but not for me. I mean, I'm just going to put that shit in what? Electric staircase, yes, it's just a small trap for when the SWAT team and the police come in to raid. The bedroom trap, plan my funeral. It's not murder, because he does have the ability to keep his limbs from being ripped off by gouging his eyes out, but why the fuck would you want to do that? And the sad thing is that he gouged the first one out, just couldn't really get to the second one because I guess he was in so much pain. So if you're gonna do one, you might as well do the other. You should have just clicked both the buttons at the same time. But instead, he was like chained up, and the chains ripped his limbs off. So, planned my funeral. I'm not fucking doing that shit. The pendulum, it was already rigged, but all he had to do, and I say all as if none of these things hurt. Of course, they hurt. Just some are easier to get out of than others. But all he had to do was crush his hands in this like metal press thing, just completely crush his hands. I'm just gonna put yes, it's much easier than having to cut something out of you or the weird shit that we see. Pound of flesh, plan my funeral. You're not gonna see me cutting myself up in bits. I don't know how I'd react in a situation like that. Of course, we see the adrenaline reaction of both the fat guy and the skinny girl and how they handle it, but I just I don't know, unless the other person puts nothing and I just like cut off my hair and put it on there, like I'm not sure that I'm gonna make it out of that. So I'm just gonna say plan my funeral, or I guess I could put it in a maybe, because I don't know exactly how I'd react in that, but it's gonna be a hard, more than likely not, if that makes sense. Bathroom trap, I'm not sure what perspective you're supposed to be in, because each person has a different, like, mission, their game. If I were Dr. Gordon, I would be able to get out because all he had to do was kill Adam, which seems like a lot and seems like nothing at the same time, but once you find out that, you know, your daughter and your wife, your family is in danger, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I'm just gonna say yes. If I were Adam, I don't know. So I'm just gonna leave it on Dr. Gordon's side because I feel like the story is more centered around him anyway. The neck tie trap. They were all running and they're really just using their strength. But I think that I would have definitely survived this one in comparison to everyone else that was in the room. I know that only one person needed to get the key, but I'm a big girl, so I think I could outpull and like use my weight to outmaneuver the skinny girls that are in this. So the death mask, plan my funeral, keys behind the eye, it ain't happening. I mean, as much as like you would want to, it's just such a hard thing to do with the eyeball. Like, I just, no. Shotgun carousel, I'm just going to put it into maybe. It really just depends if the guy likes you and thinks that you're worthy. Or actually, I'm going to put that in what? Because it's something that, as I said before, it's not anything that you have control over. So that's just immediately is going to go in there. Cyanide Box. I'm not even sure what that is. I'd have to look it up. It looks like a small trap that was made for the SWAT team. I don't know why they would even include this in the tier list. I don't know how they would go in and check to see if the place was trapped. Maybe with like drones or like little remote control cars or something. So I'm just gonna put that in. I'm gonna put that in I would survive, because I wouldn't be stupid enough to blindly go into a Jigsaw related building without knowing that it's absolutely clear. Even if it were my job, I'd be like, listen, I'm calling out sick for today. I gotta go. This is not happening. But I wouldn't have a job like that, so I'm just gonna put yes. This is the, I can't read what it says, but man, what the fuck does that say? Hot steam? I don't know. This again kind of depends on the other guy to help and save her. She does some work herself, but ultimately can't really do anything without his help. So I'm just gonna put it in what? I don't really like those traps as much. Flammable jelly trap, I put that shit in murder. That shit, I don't know what the odds are of being able to find the combination on the wall for a 4-digit combination. There's hundreds of numbers on the wall. There's just no way. I can't. And you're walking on glass using a candle for light and covered in a flammable substance. There's too much going on with this trap. I don't think that it is likely that anyone would survive that. Like 1 in 4 million, you probably have a better chance of getting struck by lightning or winning the lottery. So that's murder in my eyes. Bobby's test. For me, plan my funeral. There's no way I'm putting hooks in my tits and raising myself up. I can't even do 1 pull-up. I have no upper body strength, so fuck it. I'm dead. Just plan my funeral. I know it's possible, so I'm not going to put it in murder, but it ain't happening for me. I don't even want to really do the spiral ones because I'm not a fan of the movie, and I don't know the traps well enough to accurately tell you, but I'm just going to say no. No, I'm not doing them. The cycle trap, I'm just gonna say maybe. So he has to reach down and grab this bike brake in this cylinder thing that gets smaller, and I'm not even sure what is inside of it, if it's just blades, if they're hot blades, if it's, I don't know. He just comes out basically butchered when he does die, so I know it seems easy to just say, just grab it, but I think it looks like any kind of crazy movement would put you into the blades or whatever it is that's spinning around. So I'm just going to say maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's possible. I'm really not sure. So we're just sticking in maybe. Needle pit. I'm going to say yes, but I wouldn't fucking want to. Needles are literally like, I hate them. I know that wouldn't kill you. I don't think, but I want to put it in plan my funeral because I hate it, but accurately, no, I think 99.9% of people would survive that unless there was some crazy, anyway, the silence circle, you would think that, like, when you're watching it, you're like screaming at the TV, just shut the fuck up, or like tell Bobby to just pull that hook out faster, but you see there's like a clip of him yanking that shit at like full strength. He's like struggling and shaking and sweating and like huffing and puffing, so you know he's really giving it his all, and it's not really moving. So I don't know, to not fucking scream, and even after he like gives it a good yank, I think I would still be in enough pain to continue screaming, because she stopped screaming between every yank, but I'm not sure that I would stop screaming, like, or at least making some kind of noise that would make the decibel meter go up. So I'm gonna put it in a hard maybe, but not likely, basically. Bucket room. Yeah, easy. Just 1 drop of blood is all you need to do. Just cut yourself just a little bit. Easy, easy. The gas house, maybe. Only because you kind of rely on other people to help you out a little bit, I think. Because, I don't know, they had the combinations. They had the needle pit. There was so much going on. I think you would need at least someone's help with something. So I'm gonna put it in maybe. It's not, plan my funeral. It's not murder. It's not a yes. So, I mean, one of the dudes got murdered completely by Xavier. So it really just depends. Public execution. We'll just do razor box first. Yes, I am smart enough to put one hand in once I realize it's razors to just hold them out and be able to slide my hand down. Definitely not going to put my second hand up there, and hopefully have a friend enough to come in the room with me and also help me out of that. This bitch was just so fucking stupid. Public execution. I don't know whose position I'm supposed to be in. If I'm the dude, I would assume that the other dude is smart enough to agree with me that this bitch has been fucking around with both of us, so why the fuck would we want her? Like, no. But if I'm the girl, I'm dead. So I'm just gonna put that in what, because I'm not sure whose perspective we're supposed to be in, if that makes sense. Hot wax trap. This one's from Spiral, but I am gonna do this one because I hate this trap. This is literally murder. technically, you could survive a slim chance from having your spinal cord severed, but you would be paralyzed, so what quality of life is that? Like, just fucking kill me. That is literally murder. Like, you're alive, but you're dead, basically, so yeah, no, that's not happening. What does that say? I think this is from Bobby's wife. I'm going to put this in what? She has no control over if she lives or dies. It's all up to Bobby, and if he successfully puts the hooks in his chest and hoists himself up and plugs... No. Just not fair. Reverse bear trap. If it's Amanda's, I can't see why anyone would not live that, because she didn't have to do anything to herself. She just cut the dude open, which still is a lot, but... The Fatal 5. I ain't gonna put this in what, because I don't know. You got a lot of people against you, you got a lot of people with you, you got a lot of people who don't know what to do. That is just a shit show, and I wouldn't want to be in a group test like that, because as you see, they're like friends at one point, and then they're throwing the bitch in the bathtub, so it's just... Riggs test. Yeah, that... I don't understand how he didn't learn his lesson. He learned his lesson so fast in the movie, but when it came down to the end, which I understand that Detective Matthews was his friend, he didn't get the ultimate picture. And if you know that you're playing this game with Jigsaw for the entire length of this movie, why would you think that he's suddenly just going to be like, alright, this part's not a game? I feel like he didn't have any common sense in that. This one's stupid. Yes, I would survive that. You're literally just in this cage. The bottom pops out, and you're supposed to hoist yourself, like hold on to it and swing, because underneath you there's like metal spikes basically. And it's not like the whole floor, it's like you can swing out of the way and land somewhere else. So if you die from that, just whatever. Shotgun chair. I don't remember this one. I'm pretty sure the shotgun was never loaded, so I can't imagine why you wouldn't live. And also, I think his only gimmick was to just sit there and not move, and if you move too much, then it would pull the trigger, but like I said, it wasn't loaded to begin with, so, yeah, just don't move. Just listen to Jigsaw while he's talking, because I think he only put him in the chair to give him a proposition, like make him hear him, so... The sentry gun trap. This is again one of those things that I don't think that I would ever go after a Jigsaw killer person without knowing that the area is completely secure. This is just one of those traps that I feel like could have been avoided somehow. I know there's got to be some technology somewhere to make sure that this room is safe before you go in. They're always getting, the police, the SWAT teams, the detectives, they're always getting trapped, kidnapped, killed, injured, because there's traps in the buildings that they go into. So I just don't know how they never learned their lesson, but okay. Chain hangers trap. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Shotgun collar. If I had the skills to be a good surgeon like Lynn, I'm just gonna say maybe, because she was able to at least prolong John's life long enough for her to actually get out of the trap. It just never happened because Amanda shot him and shot her, and you know, all the shit started to go down. But I'm just gonna say maybe, like just that game without any outside influences, it's possible, but it's gonna be unlikely because John Kramer's condition at that point with his cancer was so bad, and them having to do like backyard surgery, it was just, I don't think so. The pain train, this is literally murder. Jill is literally tied up, she can't move, and she gets just ripped apart by this pain train. It's literally just like an arrowhead, a giant arrowhead that just rips her apart. There's nothing else to it. A leg wire traps. Yeah, I feel like, especially in this day and age where this movie came out from Jigsaw, there's been so much going in the news about the Saw stuff and survivors telling their stories and how it goes down, that you should know that if you're in a trap like that, you gotta play by the rules. And the only reason that he got his legs stuck and had to chop it off was because he wasn't playing by the rules, and he was trying to open a door that he wasn't supposed to. Shotgun key trap, I'm gonna say plan my funeral. 2 people, 1 shotgun, they're chained up like in the first Saw, 1 shackle on their ankle. I'm gonna say from either perspective that you're pretty much fucked. Jigsaw says the key to your freedom is in here, and it's a shotgun shell. He loads the shotgun, places it, and then he leaves. So obviously people are gonna think that you have to kill the other person to survive, which is not the case. The actual keys to their shackles are in the shotgun shell, but who the fuck would know that? I mean, I know that he speaks in riddles and stuff, but in the time that you would figure it out, eventually, it would be way past the time that the other person had already grabbed the gun, or you, like, that would still be your first instinct, to grab the gun and shoot the other person, which even then it shot backwards and would kill the person who fired it. So I'm just gonna say plan my funeral. That one's just not fair at all. It totally depends on what the other person does or how you handle the situation. Just not fair. Shotgun hallway. I think this is for Detective Singh. I'm gonna say yes because, like I said, not going into a Jigsaw building without knowing that it's clear. And yeah, the spine trap, I'm gonna say maybe. I think that if I were in a different position, I would be able to yank those out and have no problem killing my abusive significant other and saving myself in the process. I just don't know how easy it is to remove those, especially like as you're floating and stuff, and I'm not sure like how exactly all that goes down. But if it's as simple as it looks, then I'll put it in a yes. But since I'm not sure, I'm just gonna put it in maybe, but leaning towards yes. The scalping seat? Oh, fuck. I mean, I guess yes, because I don't think that scalping actually kills you. It just hurts like a fucking bitch. And we already know that this was the first test from Riggs' game, Officer Rigg. So, and we know that he's tried to help her on the first test, regardless of the fact that she was going to try to kill him after he saved her. But I'm going to say yes. It's going to hurt like a bitch, but survivable completely. What the hell is this? I can't tell what that is. Pig vat? Put it in what? Completely not up to the judge at all to decide if he lives or dies. I guess what you say and how you persuade the person, but I still don't think that's enough. The decision is ultimately up to Jeff, so it's just going to go in that what category. Lawnmower trap, plan my funeral. I'm not going to be able to hold myself up for more than 3 seconds, and against a man, probably stronger than I am, gonna knock me off really easily, so yeah, I'm dead. This one is literally murder, in my opinion. I think that it is possible to get out of that trap where you're trying to walk around on these very unstable planks and on these ledges without seeing. You're just kind of you're being led by someone else to a key that you can't even ultimately reach, and he can't give it to you. They end up having to toss it to one another. So I just don't see how this is gonna work. It could work in like a 1% chance, but I'm just gonna put that shit in murder. Freezer room, what? That could also go in the what category because it's not 100% what you do. But this one, there's nothing that she could have done for herself. She was naked and getting frozen, and yeah, so also completely up to Jeff, so that's gonna go in that what category. Edgar Munson, I don't know what that is. I mean, I know that's from Jigsaw, I can't see what this is. Can't see what they say. Okay, the mausoleum, murder. I don't like this trap at all. One person's eyes are shut and the other person's mouth is shut. So the guy who wants to talk to the person who can't see can't say anything, and he can't wave his hands and say, hey, calm down, because the guy's got his fucking eyes shut. So the guy's like, oh, talk to me. What are you doing? Get away from me, because he can't see anything. So they end up just trying to kill each other. But even though the guy who can't see is bigger and has physical advantage, the guy who can see has the advantage of the fact that he can fucking see. So I hate that trap. I don't think it was very fair at all. There's literally like, how? I guess at the end he ends up ripping his mouth stitches out, which if you're going to do that, you should have done that in the beginning, because their keys are on the back of their collar. So every time he tries to touch him, the guy gets freaked out because he can't see anything. He assumes the guy's touching him. There's the guy who put him there. So I don't like that one at all. So it is what it is. The oxygen crusher. Plan my funeral. I have severe asthma. Just literally talking in this video, I'm running out of breath. There's no way that I would win that. It's basically whoever holds their breath the longest doesn't get their fucking lungs crushed in. So yeah, I'm dead. Not murder. You could outbreathe someone, but not me. Not happening. The grain silo trap. This is a what thing. They completely relied on, I don't remember what his name is, the guy who got his foot cut off, this one, in the leg wire trap. Completely relying on him to open the silo and drain all the grain out before all of these weapons inevitably killed one of them. So I don't like those traps where it's not really up to what you do, it's up to what someone else does. Water cube. This is literally murder, even though Special Agent Strom made it out. He is a genius, but I would not be so quick on my feet to think that. I don't think. So I'm going to put that in murder, because he was supposed to die. He just happened to have a pen on him and stab himself in the throat to live. The horsepower trap. I actually really like this trap. But, I'm going to put this in maybe. No. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to put it in yes. Like I said, when I say they only have to do this, it seems shitty of me to say, because all of these are not good. I don't want to be in any fucking jigsaw trap, but and this one, all he has to do is rip his skin off. It's easier in my opinion to do than, you know, like chopping something off or like cutting into your stomach and your eye, and I don't know. I feel like if you just did like 3 really hard yanks, you would just pull that lever and all your friends would be safe. But I don't know. I don't know how the ripping off of skin feels. I know that it hurts on my fingers. I do it all the time, but I feel like it wouldn't hurt as bad on the back, but also it's your entire back. But I am going to put it in yes for now, because even if you got out, like, you still wouldn't die. Like, you would just have no skin on your back. I don't know. The laser collars, I mean, this is murder. There was no intention of letting Detective Hallam, I think is his name. Hallam? Yeah, I think that's what it is. Of letting him go. He just wanted to get him to confess so he could save the audio clip, but whether he confessed or not, he was going to die by the laser, so it's murder. The reverse bear trap 2.0. This is literally murder. Once again, they put the bear trap on, Jill Tuck puts the bear trap on Hoffman, fully with the intention of killing him, ending this whole Jigsaw shit. She's tired of it. I'm sure that in Jigsaw's will, he didn't say to just put it on him with 20 seconds and kill him. I'm pretty sure it was meant to be as a actual trap that he would be able to escape if he really wanted to. But I think Jill is just tired of being harassed by reporters, by the police, by everybody about her husband and shit that he did, even though she, honest to God, really didn't have any information because he tried to keep her out of it. So she's probably just tired. Like, even though he's already passed away, she's still getting bothered and harassed about the shit that he did. Although she wanted to be involved, not like with the traps, but she was always trying to ask him, like, you know, what was going on, or try to convince him to not do any of it. He always told her to get out, didn't want her involved for that exact reason, but they still harassed her anyway. So, literally murder. Zep's test. I don't know if we're supposed to be from Diana and Allison's perspective or from Zep's. I'm gonna say yes to both. All he had to do was tie them up and keep them tied up. With a gun, it's pretty easy, but you have to really be, I'm just gonna say yes. Just a very generic, I'm not gonna say hard yes, just a generic, yeah, I could. All you have to do is keep him tied up. I think you have to kill him eventually, yeah, if Dr. Gordon didn't do what he was supposed to do. Or, in their case, overpower him somehow to get his gun away. But they also had the help of Detective Tapp, so, I'm just gonna say yes for both. I just think it could play out both ways. The furnace, I don't think that I would have ever gotten in that thing fully, so I'm gonna say yes. There's just no way that I would have climbed into that. No, just no. Sorry, Abby, but no. The drill trap, this is going in that what category? He had no way of saving himself. He totally was depending on Detective Singh and Detective Tapp to help him out of that shit. So, yeah, no. This is the razor maze. I'm going to put yes. He had like 2 hours, I think, to get out of that. But apparently, I guess he was so adrenaline rushed, he just tried to sprint through the trap, which obviously is not the way to do it. He could have probably made it out with some severe cuts, but not to the point where he bled out and his stomach contents were found on the ground. So I'm just going to say yes, because I don't know exactly how the razors were set up. I'm just going to say yes. The ice block trap. I guess we're supposed to be Detective Matthews, so I'm going to stick that shit in what, because he can't do anything besides tell Officer Riggs not to come in, which he does, and he comes in anyway, so it is what it is. This is literally murder. The reverse bear trap for Jill. Hoffman is obviously just angry that she tried to kill him, even though he did manage to get out of his reverse bear trap. So this is just his revenge. He puts the bear trap on her and like gives her like 15 seconds. No way to get out. It's murder. That's all it is. The rack, it's going in the what category. It was completely up to Jeff whether he lived or died. You know how I feel about those. I don't know what this is, but I know what trap this is. He's like chained up. He just got out of prison. His objective is to rip all the chains out. This is Plan My Funeral. No. Okay. It just doesn't make sense, this one, because if you see the placement of the hooks, the ones in his hands were like back here, which was fine. They could have ripped those out. But the ones in his feet looked like they were in his Achilles heel, which if once that snaps, you're never able to walk again. Like, no, they can't fix that. There's no way to fix that. So, he ends up ripping them out and is still standing, so I don't think that that's accurate. But then he has one in his jaw, so I don't even know how you rip that out. Like, wouldn't you just die? I'm not sure. That's why I'm putting it in Plan My Funeral, but I'm pretty sure. I think I'm just going to put that shit in This Is Murder, because, no, I just put it in Plan My Funeral, because I really just don't know. The finger trap, that's murder. We already know that. Hoffman put his sister's murderer in the trap just for revenge, to make it seem like he was actually being tested, but it was obvious that he wasn't, because he did successfully crush his hands as he's supposed to, and the door never opened because it was like, what's the word I'm looking for, like fired, like melted shut. What is that word? If you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. But angel trap, murder. Detective Carey actually did her trap correctly, got the key out of the acid in order to release the contraption from her ribs, but the key, like, literally just, it went in, but it didn't unhook anything, so she ended up getting her ribs ripped out because it was Amanda's vengeance towards her. You could see it eventually that it was her who put her in the trap and watched her die, so it was just murder. Marcus Banks test. Who the fuck is this? Oh, I think that's from Eric Matthews test. I'm gonna say yes. I think that I would. You know what? I'm gonna put it in maybe. Only because if it's my child, I can't guarantee that I would be able to stay calm and follow police protocol and do what this Jigsaw bitch is like saying and speaking in like riddles and stuff. I don't know that I would have the patience for it. If it were like, no offense to anyone that's not my family, but if it were someone that I didn't know, like sure, maybe I would have more patience because I don't personally care about this person, but my child, I don't know how I would react. I would want to say that I'm smart enough to know the pattern of Jigsaw and know that, you know, he's pretty truthful in what he says and he's very fair in his games, and once you hear the rules, as long as you follow them, you'll be fine. But when it comes to your kid, I don't know. So there's that. Magnum iHome, I'm gonna say yes. With, like I said, with the amount of news going around on Jigsaw and people talking about their experiences, you know, not to disobey the rules, especially if they're so clear. Do not use this key on the door to this room, and they immediately do that as their first plan of action. So that's his fault for being a dumbass. Jeff's test. Oh man, I'm gonna say that I would survive. The only reason he dies is because Peter Strom kills him because he sees him with a gun and he's angry because he kills Jigsaw. When Jigsaw dies, Lynn's collar activates. She dies. There's no one left in the room because Amanda's already dead too. Because he had already he shot her first in the throat. So 3 bodies. He's pissed off. He went through this whole trap. Wife's dead. Jigsaw's fault. So he sees a random man come in. Peter Strom doesn't know it's Special Agent Strom. First thing he's going to do is shoot at him. But like I said, I'm going to say yes because I don't think that I would have shot Jigsaw. Or he didn't shoot Jigsaw. He absolutely slaughtered his throat with an electrical saw. So I don't think that I would do that. I don't know that I would be capable of just murder like that. So I'm going to say that I would survive. I think I would get to the point where I'm with Lynn, I'm talking to her if she were my wife and not really worried about getting revenge. I'm just trying to get out of there because obviously my wife is injured. My first instinct is not going to be, let me cause a very slow and painful death for this man. Let me help my wife is going to be my first instinct. And maybe then she would be able to say, I need to get this off my fucking throat before we leave. So I'm going to say yes. The spine cutter. I'm going to put this in what? Once again, it depends on the actions of other people. And I don't like that the same dude was in 2 traps in this movie. He was in the mausoleum trap. He was the one who had his mouth like sewn shut. And then they put him again in the spine cutter trap to be kind of in charge of the Eric Matthews Ice Cube trap. So I just think it's fucked up that they put him in 2 traps in one movie. Like, dude, come on. The knife trap, easy. That is Cecil. That's his name. That is one of the first traps that Jigsaw does. Cecil's the guy who killed his wife Jill Tuck's unborn child. Slammed the door on her belly. All he had to do, like I said, all as if it's easy, was push his face through some sets of knives and push pretty hard so that they would move out of the way and he could escape the chair. It's worse if you like go and then hesitate and come back and go again because you're like cutting over something that's already cut. But just like one swift slow motion, you're gonna get some cuts, but you're gonna be fine. I mean, just do it, you know. It's gonna hurt, but just do it. Not gonna hurt that bad. The glass coffin. I'm gonna say plan my funeral. If it were Jigsaw, I think that I would be smart enough to know that he's truthful in what he's saying. But now that they know that Jigsaw is dead and it's actually Hoffman, well, that we know that Hoffman is the one in charge of games, I would never trust Hoffman. Peter Strom already knows that it's Hoffman, so I would not put any trust into Hoffman to just blindly listen to what he says when he says get in the box. Plus that box just looks sketchy, so Yeah, no, plan my funeral. It's also pretty much literal murder, unless you're just... I don't know how you would see that coming, so maybe that should just be murder. I don't know. I don't know anyone who would willingly get in that when they know that the murderer is telling them, okay, get in this box, you know? The acid room. This family's not in danger at all. It's the CEO of the William Easton, that's his name. He's the one who's in danger. I'm gonna say that this is like a what scenario. It doesn't really matter what he does. I guess he could try to talk to them and persuade them into not killing him or deciding to let him go. But it's just not in his hands for the most part. So it's just gonna go in that what category. And I think the rest of these I'm not sure of. The ceiling jars. Okay, I like this one. I think that I would survive. I don't know why someone wouldn't, but like I said, when you're in those group traps, you never know what another person is going to do, but I'm just going to say yes in general. So there are keys in the glass jars on the ceiling that open a tunnel and a gate to go into the wall to avoid an explosion once the timer runs out. There's, I think, 5 survivors and only 4 tunnels, but they are long and big enough to definitely fit 2 people. So if I were the poor unfortunate soul who didn't get a key, I would just say, hey buddy, could you move over? I could also live this. I don't have to die, you know? But, you know, like I said, I can't guarantee that someone would be sympathetic enough to let me into their tunnel, but I also don't know why they would want that on their conscience when they could have easily just scooted back a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know what some of these are. I just can't tell. Yeah, I don't really like the spiral movie. I don't really like any of the traps. So I think... Oh, chain hangers trap. I'm gonna put this in maybe. This is the one where they're saying, how much is a life worth to you? The girl says a number. She says $3.53, I think, $3.53. She says a number, and it's one of the options. I don't know if they just didn't hear her, but she said it pretty loud. She said, oh, what is life worth to me? $3.53. Then you see her flashback or whatever. So if I'm giving her the options and she's like, oh yeah, I don't know, after she's already specifically said one of the numbers, I think I wouldn't have jammed all of them in her throat. It's obvious that this number means something to her. So I would have, if I absolutely had to, I would have jammed that one in probably not her throat, somewhere else. Releasing everyone. So like I said, if it was pretty obvious that there was a number that stood out, so I'm not sure why. I guess I will put that in yes then. I'm not sure why he put all of them. I guess because he just didn't want anything left to chance, but I'm gonna leave the rest of these alone because I'm not a fan of the spiral movies, and I'm just not sure what some of these are. Like, I know that this is the CEO of the insurance company. I just don't know what trap this is. I know this is from Jigsaw. I don't even know what the hell this one is because I can't read what it says. Oh, this is the electric bathtub. This relies on what other people do. They literally shoved that poor bitch into the bathtub and electrocuted her in order to power the circuits to open the next door. So I'm just going to put that in what? I mean, it just depends if you got people on your side or not. And she had people on her side at first. They completely flipped on her, the girl. So there's too much up to chance to other people. That's why I don't really like those. It's interesting to see how they play out in the movies, but for a tier list like this, where I talk about if I like the trap or if I think I would survive it, it's very up to chance, so I can't really give a definitive answer, so that's why I have the what category. So I'm gonna leave it at that. This is my, yeah, I'm pretty okay with my traps. Some of them you might disagree with, but there are some that are obviously just murder, like the angel trap and the reverse Bear Trap 2.0, Reverse Bear Trap Revenge, the Water Cube, a lot of Hoffman stuff, basically, the laser collar. Those are like, inarguably, those are just murder, but if there's anything on here that's just outstanding wrong in your opinion, comment and let me know. I want to hear why you think that, or what made you come to that conclusion. But I'm going to end it here. It's probably very long. No Way Home tomorrow, so we'll review that as soon as we get home. So thanks for watching.